When this fragrance got released a couple years ago, there was a lot of hype and a lot of excitement going on about it because it was a bigger, badder version of an already heralded fragrance, especially heralded by me. It was my top one. So today we're talking about Jubilation 40 from Amouage, and I'm going to tell you why this fragrance actually disappointed me quite a bit. So stick around. I'm going to break it down and tell you why or why not you should buy this, or maybe just sample it or just leave it alone. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, also known as Scent Nick. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. If you are new here, I create fragrance content mainly in the form of detailed and objective fragrance reviews. If that's something that interests you, please hit that like button, drop a comment below of a fragrance you'd like me to cover, and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button. And now let's get back to that review. So Jubilation 25, like I said, is one of my favorite Amouage fragrances ever. It constantly ranks either 1 or 2 in my ranking lists with them. It's beautiful, it's regal, it's complex, it moves, it dances. It does everything you would want a good fragrance to do, except perform. It doesn't have the greatest longevity in the world, and it doesn't project the loudest, which I don't care about projection too much, but longevity, I care about usually. Old batches, they're huge, but the current formulations, they're fairly weak. So when they announced that they were adding Jubilation to the Exceptional Extraits line, I was stoked to have Jubilation at 40%. I was hoping for bigger performance, more projection, a richer smell, and eternal longevity. Well, I was disappointed with most of those things, but let's get into the scent profile and go from there. So the scent profile for me is an amber, woody, oriental fragrance. They classify it as a woody chypre. I don't get the chypre vibes too much, but with the moss, I guess you can call it that. The perfumer for this was Bertrand Duchaufour, which was the perfumer for Jubilation 25, so it only made sense that they used the same perfumer to make the Extrait version. Now, a retail bottle of this is going to set you back a lot. A 100 milliliter bottle is $550 retail. You can find it for about half that price from a discounter, so please go that route. Now, when you look at the note breakdown, it's incredibly complex, and you would expect to get a lot of movement and to be able to smell each of these notes individually. Well, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. It's complex, trust me, but you can't smell them all. Let's just get into the notes, and I'm gonna unpack more of that later. The opening is quite beautiful. You get the quintessential blackberry note. You get labdanum, you get blackcurrant, orange, rosemary, and Davana. Now the blackberry is the most prevalent part of this, and I think it paired with the Davana makes for the most beautiful opening you could have. It's the Jubilation opening. It's so strong of a blackberry. It's juicy, it's tart. The blackcurrant adds a nice brightness and tartness. Now the heart is very warm, spicy, and kind of herbal. It doesn't take too much importance in the blend, as this is an incredibly base heavy fragrance. So you're gonna find frankincense, bay leaf, cinnamon, clove, broom, celery seed, and rose. Now the big players here are going to be the warm spices, the frankincense. Frankincense is very soft, which I'm very happy about, because anymore, and it would have maybe overpowered a bit with that aromatic, heady, incensey kind of thing. The cinnamon and the clove are very prevalent. Really, the cinnamon is the most here. It's warm, spicy, kind of a drier cinnamon. The clove just kind of adds richness. The floral notes aren't very strong at all. I don't know what broom smells like, so I can't tell you how that plays into it. The bay leaf and the celery seeds add a nice herbal kind of dryness to it. But again, overall, the middle is kind of muddy, we'll say. It doesn't have the most clarity, and it doesn't have the most importance in this blend. The base of this fragrance is insanely rich. You get a very strong oud note, which is really prevalent even in the opening. Like I said, this fragrance is incredibly base heavy, which it needs to be at a 40% concentration. You also get a nice amount of resin. You get myrrh and you get opopanax, which give a very beautiful, rich, balsamic, vanilla-y, caramelly sweetness with a good amount of Middle Eastern spice in there. You get other woods of gaiac wood and cedar, giving dryness, a little bit of smokiness. You get some patchouli, some moss, giving it that earthiness, the chocolatey warmness. You get musk, which isn't the most prevalent in my opinion. You get cistus and canis, which is very similar to labdanum. Again, resinous, honey, balsamic, kind of floral note. And wrapping it up, you get a little bit of ambergris, which isn't, again, the most prevalent. It gives a touch of this animalic, kind of ambroxan style note. It really helps with longevity and diffusion. Now, altogether, this fragrance is very dense. It's a little muddy. For as complex as it is note-wise, it's very hard to pick them out individually, which is a little disappointing to me, but overall it's still a really good scent. Let's get into the questions. First off, is this original? Yeah, I mean, it's still Jubilation. It's a flanker, it's an Extrait version, but it's still original. No one else has really done this DNA. I'm sure there are dupes of it, but overall, yeah, it's original. The audience of this is going to be unisex, lean masculine in my opinion. I think it does, like I said, lean masculine, but a woman could wear this and I think it'd be fine. I think this is very mature. I think 25 and up, especially with the price range that it's at. As far as occasions go, I think this is going to be a night out style fragrance, but hey, wear it as a signature, wear like 1, maybe 2 sprays. If you're in the Middle East, you're going to be fine wearing whatever the heck you want. Now let's talk about the performance. And this is where it really disappointed me because Jubilation 25 already did not have the greatest performance in the world. It was kind of short-lived and not the strongest. This one, I was hoping for a lot more, a bigger presence and a lot longer longevity, but it does have better performance, but not much. And with the price tag, it left a little bit to be desired. It is strong in the opening, but it goes back to a skin scent fairly quickly. The longevity, I was hoping for at least 12 hours and I lost it around 8 to 10 hours. It smells awesome, it's just, it doesn't last. So let's get on to that rating. I'm gonna give this an 8.1. Yes, it's exceptional, it smells amazing, but it could have scored a lot higher, and it should have, if it had just been maybe a little bit more clear, a little more clarity in the blend, wasn't so muddy overall, and if it had better performance. But like I said, it smells exceptional. I'm very pleased to have it in the collection. And if anything, I'll layer the two because there's something so special about the original Jubilation 25. The other thing is, the 40 loses a bit of that regal quality. Really, you felt like a king wearing 25, but 40, not so much. And I think it's just with how dense it is. But with that, if you agree with me, let me know. If you completely disagree with me and I'm kind of just being ridiculous, let me know as well. I want to hear it all. I'm happy to interact in the comments. I've been very blessed by you all in the comments. It's really fun to talk to you guys. So with all that, please drop a like, join the community by hitting the red subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.